voices roared against the dark. In the streets they left their mark. In the alleys whispers grow. Hooligans strike their hidden blow. Walls get painted with the truth. Revolution in the hands of youth. Jeff and the hooligans carve their fate, shouting till the morning late. Power shifts when crowds unite. In the chaos rides the light. Corporate suits try to control. Hooligans aim for heart and soul. Jeff's words light the spark, echoing through the park. From the suburbs to the slum, hooligans beat their drum. Jeff leads the fearless crew, turning red, white, and blue. Jeff and the hooligans call their fate, shouting till the morning late. Power shifts when crowds unite. In the chaos rides the light. Jeff and the hooligans call their fate, shouting till the morning late. Power shifts when crowds unite. In the chaos rides the light. The light.
What's up, hooligans? Happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. And I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. We're going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you hooligans are doing today. Then, of course, we'll be getting things started. We're going to be starting out with this first video here with Peter Ducey, and it's titled Trump's Patience is Really Wearing Thin. This is talking about President Trump going to meet with Vladimir Putin over in Alaska on Friday. Then we got a video titled National Guard Troops Report to D.C. After Trump Declares Crime Emergency. This is kind of a follow-up, just checking on how things are going while the federal government is basically controlling D.C. for the next 30 days. Then we got a video titled Emotions High Following Deadly Target Shooting, Neighborhood Grieves. This person thought they were playing Grand Theft Auto or something like that. It's crazy, the crime spree that he was on. Then we got a follow-up video. It's titled Atlanta Gunman Fired Hundreds of Rounds at the CDC Headquarters. We initially covered this when it first happened, but now they got details on like how he died and things like that. Then we got our midlife break, our funny video halfway through. This one was provided by Get Some, and it's titled Can't Have Both. Then getting back into the news, we got a video titled Illegal Border Crosser Gets Life in Prison for Murder of Rachel Morin. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name correctly, but either way, some actual justice. Then we got a video titled Liberal States New Law Called Out as Really Dangerous. Illinois has become the first state to require mental health screenings, and this is a concerning thing because teachers have already kind of been in the habit where if they can't control your kids, they're going to suggest that your kid gets medicated. Well, in Illinois, they're going to take that kind of suggestion really seriously from now on. Then we got a video titled Career Criminal Out on Shock Probation Allegedly Kidnaps Mom and Kids. This person is a career criminal, and some goofy judge let him out 13 years early, more than 13 years early, from his prison sentence so he can go out there and commit more crime. Then wrapping up the news, we got Lefty's Losing It. This one's titled Nancy Pelosi Finds a New Job Helping Kids Transition. Jesus loves us. Then we'll be getting into the fun stuff. We'll be opening today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. And we got our two funny videos of the day. First one was provided by Cerebrus, and it's titled Stop Tilting the Floor. Then our official funny video of the day is... hold on. Let me see who provided it because I want to give them credit. Come on now. Come on. Who was it? It was Beck Frank. and it's titled "The Deer in Australia Are Weird." All of that's coming up next, but first, we're going to hop in the chat, see how you hooligans are doing today. What is up, everyone, over on jeffmaclive.com. What's up, Snooks? What's up, Guessum? What's up, Salty Ragu? What's up, Live Review? And what's up, Russell? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone, over on Rumble? Elder Zoomer, you were first today. Happy freedom to you, and I appreciate you racing to the chat. What's up, Beck Frank? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Snooks? You're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, H Big? Happy freedom to you. Guess you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Too Old to Care? What's up, Ramsey? Happy freedom to you. What's up, MU? Live Review. You are omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Vinny C? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. What's up, J Dog? Appreciate you sliding through. You hooligans, hit that like button. See if you can get us on the front page. And what is up, everyone over on Kig? Happy freedom to you. And what is up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, TBD? What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom to you. And what is up, everyone over on the communism platform? What's up, Tube Steak? You were first over here. What's up, Toy Mafia? What's up, Mike Ingle? Happy freedom, you hooligans. What's up, Joe? Russell, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Live Review? You guys are following each other around on all platforms. What's up, Dudden? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Jeannie? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Buckeye Bob? Happy freedom. Guess some. Also omnipresent. And what is up, everyone over on X? We are multi-streaming, so hopefully we got the chat rolling on X for people who missed the chat over there. We're not live on Odyssey because nobody is on that platform, and I feel like I'm just wasting resources just waiting in the chat by myself. So we're not live on Odyssey. I don't know. They need to bring people to their platform if they want us to go live over there. Either way, go ahead and getting into things. This first one's Peter Ducey, and it's titled "Trump's Patience is Really Wearing Thin." I just remembered I was supposed to write Alistair, and I totally forgot. We're never getting new t-shirts because I can't remember to write them back. I will have to do that after the live. Either way, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, we have these Hooligan Strong t-shirts. Now, this design was created by Alistair, and Alistair is a badass in just about everything he does. So I will be posting his link in all of the chats for you hooligans to have the opportunity to hire him for your creative needs, because if you think it, he can create it. Now, this design does come in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs, dog tags, and we've made steel tumblers out of this design. Today I got on the "I'm an American, I do not comply" t-shirt. We have lots of items and lots of designs over in the merch store. I'll be dropping all the links in the chats while we're watching this first video.
Meanwhile, President Trump setting the stakes for his summit with President Vladimir Putin. It's going to be this Friday in Alaska. I'm pretty sure we don't know the city yet, do we?
That's right. Peter Ducey joins us live from the White House with more. Peter, do you know the city?
I think we're flying into Anchorage, and then we should be able to get wherever it is by car.
Probably one road.
It might be. And so they'll sort that out. They'll tell us where we need to be for Friday. But ahead of this summit, President Trump's patience with Vladimir Putin is really starting to wear thin. This meeting in Alaska has to be the start of a ceasefire, and then issues about what land and where, who gets, and when can be ironed out.
This is really a feel-out meeting, a little bit. And President Putin invited me to get involved. He wants to get involved. I believe he wants to get it over with. I'm going to be telling him, you got to end this war. You got to end it. At the end of that meeting, probably in the first 2 minutes, I'll know exactly whether or not a deal can be made. How will you know that? Because that's what I do. I make deals.
And we know that early on, ahead of this summit, efforts were made to get Zelensky to the table this week, but Zelensky is determined he can't make any concessions himself. He needs a national referendum in Ukraine for that, and that is going to take some time. So he will be gone, but not forgotten.
After that meeting, immediately, maybe as I'm flying out, maybe as I'm leaving the room, I'll be calling the European leaders who I get along with very well. And, I have a great relationship.
Volodymyr Zelensky is not invited on Friday?
He wasn't a part of it. I would say he could go, but he's gone to a lot of meetings. He's been there for 3.5 years. Nothing happened.
Picking Alaska for this leader summit, it doesn't just make it a home game for President Trump. It is also rich with symbolism. He will be hosting the Russian leader on land that was once controlled by the Russians. Back to you.
Yeah, I believe they want it back, but that's for another time. Peter, so do you get the sense that the European Union is getting nervous about this whole meeting. They're trying to insert themselves before and after the president meets.
Not necessarily nervous, but definitely curious, because for the first couple years of this war, when Joe Biden was the president, before he would do anything, before he would talk to Zelensky, before they would talk to Putin, they would go to the Situation Room here at the White House and have a Zoom call with all of the leaders, and they would all get on the same page so that they could all present a united front, Europe and the U.S. and NATO versus Russia. Whereas now, President Trump is just going and doing this stuff on his own and calling after. So there's definitely a lot of curiosity among the Europeans, but President Trump has decided he does not want them at the table for this. He does not think that that approach was working, and there's a lot of reason to think that it wasn't, because this war is still going on.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Peter.
Thank you, Peter. I think it's interesting that Donald Trump said that, because we were thinking maybe Zelensky should be invited. Then all three of them can sit down and maybe he could be the mediator. But he's right. Zelensky's been in this war for 3 years. Putin's been in this war for 3 years. They've had opportunities to meet. They've definitely talked. They haven't been able to come to a ceasefire or a peace agreement. So Donald Trump is going to meet with Zelensky and the EU leaders tomorrow ahead of his meeting with Putin, find out what their criteria might be, and then go into the meeting on Friday prepared to talk to Putin.
I just don't think you would be able to keep the temperature down without a ceasefire.
Right.
I mean, rightfully so, Zelensky is going to be upset. He got his country invaded. They're targeting civilians. And I don't think he would be able to keep it together with Putin across the table.
So I like the idea of SWAT. I think you're right, Lawrence, but I would think this. He's suggested a bunch of times, I'll meet with you anytime. Putin's the one who won't meet with Zelensky.
That's true.
It's not Zelensky who won't meet with.
All right, hooligans. Just an update there about President Trump meeting with Putin on Friday. Supposed to be going to Alaska. They're saying they're not sure where they're going to be at. I'm sure we'll hear more leading up to Friday. Trump suggests that Zelensky being there won't make a difference. When we originally covered this, Zelensky was saying if Ukraine's not a part of the discussion, then there won't be peace. But President Trump doesn't feel that it'll make much of a difference, so I guess we'll see how things go. Next up, National Guard troops report to D.C. after Trump declares crime emergency. 30 days of the federal government taking over D.C. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what your hooligans think about Peter Doocy talking about President Trump meeting with Putin on Friday. Russell, we're using the YouTube player, so the experience shouldn't be any different watching the video on the site or watching it on YouTube. Guess Zelensky is a tool? Yeah, I agree. Sorry to hear you're sick, Salty Ragu. The review, Zelensky has little man syndrome? Yeah, he does. What's up, Just Gina? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Bright Gaming? Happy freedom to you. Shroomish, why would Zelensky meet with Putin? This is about the U.S. and Russia. Because Zelensky doesn't want to agree to peace unless he's a part of the discussion. What's up, Rappy? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Break a Leg? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Enter User? Happy freedom. What's up, Colty? What's up, Tony Rez? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Colty, there's a train derailment. Texas, 35 cars are off the tracks, and it looks like some of the cars were carrying electric cars. Interesting. Thank you for letting me know, Colty. What's up, Meta? Happy freedom. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Cecil? Happy freedom. What's up, Rodney? What's up, Lee? Happy freedom. Lee, without war, Zelensky goes broke. Yeah, that's why he always says he wants peace until President Trump's ready to bring peace, and then all of a sudden he doesn't want it anymore. What's up, Louise? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Prop Patriot Girly? Well, I see how it goes. What are you talking about, Prop Patriot Girly? Snooks, the train derailment's been declared as hazardous. I figured. Alright, hooligans, we're going to move forward here. Like I said, National Guard troops report to D.C. after Trump declares emergency. Getting some details here on how D.C. is changing before our eyes. Now hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
So he says he's cracking down on crime, and he's going to continue to use the power of the presidency to do it. Trump's federal takeover of policing here in our nation's capital is sparking debate as 850 federal agents hit the streets of D.C. last night, making 23 arrests from homicide to reckless driving, according to the White House. The president insisting that D.C. has been taken over by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals. But according to Metropolitan Police stats, despite a spike of crime in 2023, rates of violent crime has actually hit a 30-year low. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser met with the U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi about the federal takeover of her police department this morning. She briefed reporters right after the meeting.
The executive order is pretty clear, and so is the law. The president has the authority by virtue of the statute to request services. Our organizational chart, how we do business, how we fund the police, how we make changes, none of that has changed.
Our Perry Russom was tracking not only the meeting, but the press conference as well. So what more do we actually know about these arrests that the White House touted, these 23 arrests, and how this combined law enforcement effort is actually working, Perry?
Yeah, as you mentioned, 23 arrests. Those charges include homicide, firearms offenses, possession with intent to distribute, and then also 6 illegal handguns were taken off of the street, as you mentioned just a short time ago. About 850 officers as well as some federal agents were sent across the city last night. So 850 officers plus federal agents. No National Guard members have been sent out. But as we've been talking about all day, we're very curious to see what this looks like going forward once the National Guard is implemented and they are on the streets of Washington, D.C. The Army giving us some more information today on what the National Guard will be doing. They say it's a 3-pronged approach, looking at administrative issues, logistical issues, as well as that physical presence. So physically seeing the National Guard members in D.C., Kira.
Well, President Trump also putting out a warning to the locals here in our nation's capital. Let's take a listen.
They love to spit in the face of the police as the police are standing up there in uniform. They're standing and they're screaming at them an inch away from their face. And then they start spitting in their face. And I said, you tell them, you spit and we hit. And they can hit real hard.
He's talking about these protesters that aren't really digging the new police policy here. What do you think? Is the way we see law enforcement in our nation's capital going to change for a while, maybe be more aggressive?
Yeah, I mean, just for the short time being, we know this is supposed to last at least 30 days. If this does last longer, it's going to take an act of Congress to try and extend the national takeover of the police department. But just hearing from the police union president yesterday, he is very supportive of this idea. He says his officers are stretched thin and essentially they're looking for any help that they can get. And then also hearing from the mayor today and the police chief, they're pretty open to this idea, trying to see how they can use all of these federal resources together to try and quell any issues with the crime rates here in D.C. So I think a lot of people here in D.C. are very curious just to see what this looks like going forward and then how long this will last too, because a 30-day window, what happens once that window is over? We're very curious to see what the White House deems successful and what they want to do after this 30-day window, Kira.
All right. We're going to track it, of course. Thank you, Perry.
All right. Cleaning up D.C. It'll be really interesting when things are successful and then they try to do this to New York and places like that. Could you imagine them cleaning up Portland? That would take so much work. They're saying it's 30 days of the federal government taking over D.C. They claim that D.C. is at a 30-year low for crime, kind of insinuating that this is unnecessary. But in the first day, they made 23 arrests, including homicide, firearms offenses, drug possession with intent to distribute, and reckless driving. 850 officers have been deployed, and then some unknown amount of federal agents are also on the streets. National Guard hasn't made their presence seen yet. And it seems like the only people who are against this is the media and the criminals. So like I said, once this is successful, I wonder what it'll look like when President Trump puts his crosshairs on some of these big liberal cities and tries to do the same thing. Next up, emotions high following deadly target shooting neighborhood grieves. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about President Trump sending the feds into D.C. to clean the place up. Guess watching WFAA news, reporters' nipples are clearly showing through the dress, and a train wreck too. Well, what color are the nipples, guess? We heard about the train, okay? That's practically old news at this point. Solid ragu. You gotta just drink water. Wear 3 blankets. Sleep it off. You'll feel better. Russell, the people in D.C. are scared to go out at night. Hell, Baghdad has a lower murder rate than D.C. Well, hopefully they can get it cleaned up. Russell Zelensky wants to see my tool. He does. What's up, Watt Life? Happy Freedom. A typical Trump train wreck? I'm pretty sure there was more train derailments under Biden than Trump, but I guess. Southern Tripod, it's 100 where you are right now? I would keep my ass indoors. Happy Freedom to you, Southern Tripod. Break a leg, 30-day extension after 30 days is up, and so on, hopefully. Well, they're saying it has to get passed by Congress once we hit the end of the 30 days. Rumblebot's being racist? And our user calling out the Rumblebot. Told to Kara Pelosi still harping on about J6. Yeah, they're holding on to it like a safety blanket. Shroomish used my Twitch Prime sub for your channel last night. You're a badass. Thank you so much, Shroomish. I really appreciate it. Bright Gaming, sorry Bowser, but your criminals are in another castle. Yeah, exactly. Happy Freedom to you, Goth. God, Trump did it because of the crime involving big balls. It was mentioned. He's just saying that crime is high, but the report was saying that crime is at a 30-year low. So I don't know who's right or what, but they're cleaning D.C. up. We keep covering stories about how crime is happening in D.C., so I don't know how it's at a 30-year low, unless it's really just that fucking high that being normal is a 30-year low. Oh, you're welcome, Bright Gaming. Sorry it wasn't a huge raid. We were live for the White House press briefing, and not a lot of people show up for the press briefing anymore. Way more people showed up when we were making fun of KJP or Jembal Saki than people showing up to support Caroline Leavitt. But it was the best I could do, Bright Gaming. What's up, Dustin D? Happy Freedom to you. Sun Trap House, where's Cash? She's late. She is. Goth, crimes were not reported to the FBI to database them, so we have a false perception of lower crime. Yeah, I totally believe that, Goth. Meta Los Angeles next, maybe because of the Olympics. Could be. Don't we got a ways to wait before the Olympics, though? I know they keep talking about it, but I never watched the Olympics. Everybody decided to boycott the Olympics last time. I was already doing that before it was cool. What's up, DP? Happy Freedom to you. Done. Sometimes I think the stream is frozen. I just yell at Jeff, blink, motherfucker. I know. I wish there was another way. I've been thinking of changing some stuff up so it doesn't look like I'm just sitting here, but I can't read the damn chat any faster. What's up, Gun Taker? Happy Freedom. What's up, Tim Mack? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Mr. Lynn? Tim, they cook the books. Yeah, I think you're right. What's up, Lori? Happy Freedom. What's up, Drob? Happy freedom to you. Just like in LA, if you don't report it, the crime is down. Yeah. Well, it's like not arresting criminals. You can say, oh, we don't have a lot of crime because we didn't put anybody in jail. Well, that's what happens when you don't put people in jail. What's up, Kathy? Happy freedom to you. Kathy, I work outside, guys, in a bunch of states. Crime is not down. Reporting crime is. Yeah. Thinking you guys are right. What's up, Parabellum? Happy freedom. Hold on. I gotta share out the live over on X. I don't think people have realized that we got a chat working again. So let me do the thing really quick. When I gotta share out my own lives, come on, guys. Help me out here. Oops. It's one thing to like mess up when you're typing. It's another to do it while you're watching yourself live. Anyways, moving forward here, like I said, emotions high following deadly Target shooting and neighborhood is grieving. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, if you'd like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let's get this pulled up about this Target shooting here. This guy thought he was playing Grand Theft Auto. He must have thought he was having a dream or something, because this guy, he did a little bit of everything. Hit the like button over on Rumble as well as the CommiTube, and let's get into this.
I was just, buying my things and until everybody started running and say somebody's shooting. I was just afraid, and I'm lucky to be alive.
We continue to follow breaking news tonight of a shooting in a North Austin parking lot. 3 people are dead tonight. This happened in North Austin at the store on Highway 183 and Olin Road. Austin police say the shooting was the start of a crime spree that stretched down to South Austin. We have live team coverage tonight with CBS Austin's Andrew Freeman, hearing from people inside the store and nearby. But we start with CBS Austin's Abigail Velez, who is live at the Target where the first shots were fired. Abigail?
Walt, it's been a scary scene today. Austin police say this is where it all started. They tell me they found 3 people shot in this Target parking lot. And within minutes, the crime scene stretched across Austin, started here in this parking lot, then going to a busy intersection near Mopac, and eventually ending in a South Austin neighborhood.
We seen the first body on the ground, and then all the police started swarming in. It was just chaos.
The city of Austin is mourning tonight after a deadly shooting outside of a Target in North Austin.
I was really confused at first because, I thought that this only happened in the news and stuff. And then I kind of just froze at first.
The first call came in at 2:15 this afternoon at a Target off Highway 183 and Olin Road. Austin police say 4 minutes later, officers arrived. They found 3 people shot in the parking lot. 2 would die there, and the 3rd died at a nearby hospital.
This is a very sad day for Austin. It's a very sad day for us all. And my condolences go out to the families.
Investigators say the suspect, a 32-year-old white male with a history of mental health issues and a long criminal record, shot one of the victims while stealing their car, the start of a crime spree.
The suspect fled the scene, stole a car from the scene, took that car, wrecked that car.
This is where police say the suspect crashed that stolen vehicle in an office complex parking lot at Mopac and Anderson Lane. APD says he then hijacked a nearby Volkswagen, injuring the driver and taking off again.
He was then found by Austin PD in South Austin, where he was taken into custody after a tasing.
But the chase ended here on La Casa Drive near South Lamar Boulevard in South Austin. But questions remain about what led up to the crime spree.
We don't know if there was an altercation or what. At this point, we're looking at video.
In a statement tonight, Target says in part, "We are devastated by the violence. Our hearts are with the families and loved ones of those who lost their lives, and we're grateful to the first responders who acted quickly."
It's just a lot. Mental strain of having to see dead bodies and blood and guns, and it's a lot.
District 4 council member Jose Chito Vela, who represents this district, says in a statement, "My heart breaks for those who just lost their lives. Glad APD has the suspect in custody."
Police were just everywhere, guns in hand, trying to find the active shooter and telling us we need to stay still. It was just a lot.
Yeah, really a graphic scene today. Now, police have not yet released the identities of any of the victims, and they also haven't released the identity of the suspect. Now, just within the last few minutes, we have learned that police are allowing people to pick up their car from this parking lot. For the majority of the day, this entire area was blocked off, but as this investigation slows down tonight, again, they're allowing people to come and pick up their car. For now, I'll toss it back to you in the studio, Walt.
Thank you, Abigail. Our team coverage of this deadly Target shooting continues tonight with Andrew Freeman.
Okay. Like I said, this guy thought he was playing Grand Theft Auto or something. They're saying he's a 32-year-old white male with mental issues, just like every other crime lately, I guess. He shot 3 people in the parking lot of Target while stealing a car. And then he turned around and wrecked the vehicle in an office parking lot. Then he hurt another person while stealing their car. And then eventually he was caught by police, but he was tased before he was arrested. Those 3 people he shot in the parking lot died. 2 of them died at the scene. 1 died at the hospital or on the way to the hospital. I didn't write down which or the other, but either way, all 3 died. Haven't released the identity of the suspect or the victims. And I think that's really weird. Why do they not release the identity of the suspect? Was he not white? Is that the thing? Did they report he was white again when he wasn't? Was he illegal? I mean, I don't know. We'll see. There could be a follow-up on this. Next up, we do got a follow-up video. It's titled, Atlanta Gunman Fired Hundreds of Rounds at the CDC Headquarters. This story is really weird, and we just got some more details on it. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this Target shooting. Russell, dude's going to get fried. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He committed all kinds of crime. He's going to be screwed unless he gets the most liberal judge ever, which may happen. You never know. Guess one was a 6-year-old child. That's crazy. I did not know that. Guess shared it out on Grindr and OnlyFans. Thanks, guess appreciate it. Is that why everybody's asking about my toes? What's up, Bill Clay? Happy freedom. Tased. Why not shoot him? I don't know. I don't know. Break a leg. She is shiny. Maybe she's moisturizing. What's up, Kirsten? Happy freedom to you. You guys over here gangbanging the Rumble bot? That's funny. Told to care Summer Olympics is 2026 in Los Angeles. Oh, it's closer than I thought. I didn't realize that. I thought it was a couple more years. I was wrong. Stoner, Trump said no shapeshifters in the Olympics. Good. Happy freedom to you, Stoner. Sun Tripod, why don't they use cop cars to run perps over more often? Apparently they just save it for special occasions. Meta, interesting, the new ballroom and remaking DC again, great again, is more important than homeless American citizens. International death seems to be more important than USA victims. Accountability for us, but not for them. Well, the homeless stuff is being cracked down nationwide now. Somebody was saying, I don't know, kind of suggesting it was a bad thing happening in DC, but President Trump signed an executive order talking about it. So all states are supposed to be cracking down on homelessness, which means that they have to come up with ways to provide for those people. Like where I live, there is no services for homeless men. If you're a woman, you can go to the like battered woman shelter, for lack of a better term, Cove and places like that. There's all kinds of stuff for women and children. But if you're a man, there is no place for you. And if you get caught sleeping outside, they'll just take you to jail. They'll say you're trespassing or loitering or whatever, and just take you to jail. And what sucks is when you go to jail, if you don't have a home to go to, they won't release you out in the streets here. Somebody has to claim you. And then you're stuck in a situation where if you don't have anybody to claim you, you just live in jail now. It sucks. It's a mess. Things are a mess. The one thing is I wish that they would find a way to make housing more affordable. Like, cracking down on homelessness, people who have mental illness or drug addiction or alcoholism is like one thing, but people who are homeless because they can't afford to live indoors, making them go to jail doesn't fix the problem. Like, I'm like on the brink of being in that situation, and places are just unaffordable, and you have to qualify for a lot of this stuff. If you can't buy a house, like, I'm approved for a $125,000 loan, but today I can't buy a house with that. And so if I was to try and go get another rental or whatever, I have to make 3 times whatever their rent is. If rent's $2,000, then I got to make $6,000 just to be eligible to even file an application. And you got to have 6 months income, 12 months income to prove that you could make $6,000 a month just to be able to rent an apartment. You know, so it's like, they need to do something about the cost of living. And I don't know what to do about it, because how do you tell people who own property how much they should charge for rent, right? That's the government controlling them, and that doesn't sound good. But at the same time, if you're charging $500,000 for a 2-bedroom house in the middle of nowhere, you just got empty houses rotting, and you got homeless people at the same time, and something needs to change, but I don't know what. And I hate watching those videos where people are like, well, I only paid $20,000 for the house that we're in. And it's like, well, fuck, I wish I could buy a $20,000 house. And they're like, well, you know, we didn't make as much then. Yeah, but the difference wasn't what it is today. Like, your house has gone up 500%, but our income has only gone up 80%. So there's a huge gap being created. And it's like the next generation, right? Like all the teenagers right now, how much are houses going to cost when they're in their 30s and they're not able to buy a house? Like, I make as much as my dad did when he was my age. My dad could buy a $90,000 house that he lives in right now. That's a 2-story full basement, you know, big ass house for $90K. And I make the same amount he does now, but I can't buy a fucking house because they're 9 times the cost of what they were when he was my age 17 years ago. So it's, I don't know, it's a fucking mess. But at the same time, like I'm saying, when you look at Portland, where they got homeless people all over, they don't just have homeless people, they got homeless encampments. And it's like, somebody needs to crack down on that, because a lot of those people are being exploited and stuff because of the government programs. The people who run that like to line their pockets with it. So if they can put a bunch of homeless people through their programs, it looks like there's demand. If there's demand, then there's a budget. If there's a budget, that's more government money that they're making. So they don't have a problem with people being homeless because they make money off of it. So it's like you got kind of 2 different things happening at once. What's up, Jay Blazer? Happy freedom to you. DP, this is simply discrimination against homeless people. I mean, it could be considered that way. Mr. Lin, I think there should be a section of town for the homeless in the city. I'm kind of surprised they don't go to Walmart. Because doesn't Walmart let you just sit there and sleep? I've always heard that you can go to Walmart parking lots and like camp in your car and nobody's going to do anything about it. I'm kind of surprised they don't go there and camp out. DP, I know some veterans that are homeless and pissed off because they voted for Trump. Yeah, it's kind of a tough situation. Hey, thanks for being here, Gun Taker. Enjoy the rest of your day. Seldragu, the hot chick on this job checked on me since I haven't been to work. That's right, she's got my number. Tell her she needs to bring you some Gatorade and rub your back. Got an in-house nurse. Russell, Rumblebot does not like to finger bang itself. How modest. What's up, Frey? Happy freedom to you. Kirsten, there's so many homeless that are addicted to fentanyl. The drug is so addictive. Yeah. There was a video that I had screened. I don't know. It was really long and boring. But they're saying that there's a new drug out there that's worse than fentanyl. It's like 20 times fentanyl. And so, I don't know, maybe we'll be covering that, sometime in the future. Hopefully not, though. I wish people would get away from drugs. Told to care, Walmart cracked down on that here. They don't let people hang out in the parking lots anymore. Well, it's probably for the best, I suppose. It's their parking lot. Told to care, lots of empty houses in my area. That's how it is here, too. Just the streets are lined with empty houses because no one can afford to live there. Except for like tourists. Tourists will buy these houses and they stay there for a week out of the year while, everybody else is struggling to pay rent and shit. Otters, all because of taxes and interest. Yeah. What's up, Aco? Happy freedom. Try multiple bank loaner amounts may vary. Yeah. The problem is, part of the problem is I owe $40,000 in student loan debt. But if I pay it off, my credit will go down. Because right now my credit's it's like 892 or something like that. It's really high. But if I pay off my student loans, it'll decimate it. Because I only have high credit because I've been paying student loans for almost 10 years. What's up, Montana? Happy freedom to you. Kirsten, where big corporations buy them and rent them out, turn them neighborhoods into slums eventually. Yeah, that's what's happening here. All the rentals here are all owned by one group of people. And it's not good. It's not good. And it's happening all over. What's up, Metal? Happy freedom. Beck Frank, you got student loans too? Keep paying on them. Don't default on them. They'll wreck your life over it. Live review. Schedule 1 drugs are bad. Okay. Yep. You are right. Moving forward here, like I said, we got a follow-up video. Atlanta gunman fired hundreds of rounds at the CDC headquarters. Now, this story was weird, but now it's getting even weirder. When we covered this yesterday or Saturday or whenever we covered this, they weren't really clear on what the target was, why this guy went and did all this stuff, and now they kind of have numbers that don't make sense. They're going to say something about 500 bullet casings, but then 200 rounds. So then it makes me wonder, what happened to the other 300 bullets that must have been fired? That's just, nobody knows. So I don't know. There's a bunch of weird stuff in this. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
We have an update on Friday's deadly shooting outside the CDC headquarters in Atlanta. According to officials with the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, Patrick Joseph White died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound after firing off hundreds of rounds towards the agency. A police officer was killed while responding to that scene. NBC News correspondent Priya Sridhar joins us now from Atlanta. Priya, you were there actually in front of the CDC building just yesterday, and I know that we learned new information about where White actually got those weapons from. Also, there was some data about his views on the COVID vaccine. What do we know?
Yeah, that's right, Morgan. Well, I just got out of a press conference with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, who are just giving some gruesome details about what exactly occurred on Friday evening. They're saying that 5 weapons were recovered at the scene, 500 shell casings, 200 bullets went into 6 different CDC buildings on the campus there. They say that the suspect, 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White, got those weapons from his father. They were registered to his father's name. They said it was a combination of rifles, long guns, and handguns, and that he somehow broke into a safe at his father's house. We're also learning that this suspect was on the radar of law enforcement in the weeks prior to the shooting. Several of his own family members had called them saying that they were concerned because he was expressing suicidal ideations. They're also telling us now that the manner of death of the suspect was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We weren't sure if he had died died at the hands of the police officer who responded or if he had actually killed himself. And now we're learning that that turned out to be the case. Now, the last thing you mentioned was the fact that they did conduct a search with a warrant of his family's home, and they found a lot of documentation, written documentation, that showed his views about the COVID-19 vaccine. Of course, we have learned that he believes that that COVID-19 vaccine made him extremely sick, Morgan.
Priya Sridhar, excellent reporting there from Atlanta. Priya, thank you.
We thank you for watching, and remember.
All right. So, like I said, follow up on the situation there. They validated that he did smoke himself and the 5 weapons, or there was 5 weapons found in his vehicle, 500 casings and 200 bullets. And like I said, that doesn't make any sense to me. Was he driving around with 500 casings on him, or did they find 500 casings at the scene? Because if they did, then that would mean 500 bullets. But then they turn around and say, no, it's only 200 bullets. And they went into all these 6 different buildings. They're saying that he broke into his dad's safe and stole all of his dad's guns. His family had called 911 weeks earlier because he was expressing suicidal feelings. Then they mention after executing a search warrant that they found documents that he made saying that he was injured by the COVID vaccine, and that now the news is trying to spin it like this is how COVID vaccine deniers behave. He's one of them, as if it's a group of people out here doing shootings like this and stuff. So, they had to put a spin on it because it's soft-ass news, but it is what it is. Next up, we got our midlife break. It's our funny video halfway through, and this one was provided by Get Some. It's titled Can't Have Both. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this CDC shooting situation. Sally Ragu, the white privilege? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that pertains to this. Guess I'm broke into the safe. Yeah, that safe was a good investment. Yeah, exactly. Sub-Zero, happy freedom. You went to Cracker Barrel? What'd you get? Was it good? Russell, when I was in France, they still had bullet holes in buildings from World War II. That's crazy. That would be very interesting to see. Zero, the dude's name was White? Yeah, he's a white dude named White. According to CNN, he's a white dude named White. They've been doing that a lot. That's why we were just saying about the last story, the Target shooting. They said he's a white male, but then they haven't released his footage, like his face or whatever. They haven't shown the suspect. And I was saying, I wonder if it's because he's not actually white. Guess she ordered the robe and Burning Cross special. It's how it be. Beck Frank. Here you have to earn over a certain amount before you have to actually pay it off. And I don't earn enough, so I don't know how they're going to ever get their money back. My bad. Well, you're lucky, Beck Frank. I got to pay $200 a month for student loans. It's a pain in the ass. What's up, Dog Spa? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Relax? Happy freedom to you. Kirsten, he's around here somewhere. I'll grab him in a little bit. Sergeant Trap, was he looking for Fauci? It's hard to say. Isn't Fauci teaching classes at Harvard now or something like that? Frey, maybe he was saving them to reload. Like maybe he just had casings in his car. That could be. I mean, that could be. They weren't real specific when they, brought up those details. And our user sounds like he was a bad shot. Yeah. Firing that many rounds. What's up, Watchman? Happy freedom. Watchman, you see we got the chat back on X. Leave a review. Yeah, that's the thing. I can't move. I can't move very far from where I am right now. What's up, JF? Happy freedom. Meta. Concerned about the people who have been confirmed by Congress that are major contributors to Project 2025. This has been in the making since 1988. We are all the have-nots in those pages praying. I don't know. I'm not worried about Project 2025. Tim Mac. How is it that a majority of these shooters have been visited by Leo multiple times before an incident? I don't know. It's just the way it goes. Sounds like orientation. DP. CDC is up to something, hiding something. Always. Mr. Lynn, we have people in Georgia that do hang out at Walmart. Yeah. Is your Walmart open 24 hours? Ours closes at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. It didn't do that until COVID happened. Watchmen, yeah. I was waiting to see if you're going to come back to X. Oh, I see what you're saying, guess some. Alright, hooligans, like I said, we got our midlife break coming up, but before we get into this, I'm going to remind you, hooligans, if you'd like to join the membership program over on Rumble and become an official hooligan, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. You got to open your browser, go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We got chapstick emojis, screaming goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live, so definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Also, I want to remind you, hooligans, we have to do 5 hours of premium live streaming for the creator program over on Rumble. If you do not have Rumble Premium or you are not an official hooligan, you will not be able to watch the live on Rumble. So for those 5 hours of live streaming, it might be worth it to join the membership program, because we got to do it at some point in the next 2 weeks. Either way, let's go ahead and get into this midlife break here. Oh, I remember. Come on, why you got buffer on me, fucking YouTube? You dusty bitch. Hold on a second. Alright. Like I said, this was provided by Get Some, and this is titled, You Can't Have Both.
I once loved two girls at a time. Kate and Edith both were mine. I learned that what they say is true. You can't have Kate and Edith too.
Yes. Very nice. Very nice. Can't have Kate and Edith too. Getting back into the news here, like I said, illegal border crosser gets life in prison for the murder of Rachel Morin. Finally, somebody's going to jail. I mean, we've been waiting a while here. Like I said, border crosser gets life in prison for murder of Rachel Morin. Hit the like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
And welcome back here at Sue Live now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Let's keep it moving, almost at the top of a new hour here. Hope you guys had a good weekend. We're just getting started. So an unfortunate set of circumstances. Have to get you up to speed on the latest in the Rachel Morin case. You remember that one here. Hearing from DHS Secretary Kristi Noem today, saying today Rachel Morin's killer was sentenced to life without parole for her brutal murder. This criminal illegal alien should have never been in our country in the first place. Rachel should still be here, watching her 5 children grow up. We hear far too much in the mainstream media about sob stories of gang members and criminal illegals, not enough about their victims. God bless Rachel, Patty Morin, and the Morin family. Of course, Patricia Morin is her mother. You're going to hear from her in just a moment. We're going to tell you what happened today. This 24-year-old man from El Salvador who unlawfully entered the U.S., well, today, he was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole here. Patty Morin reacting to this sentence from earlier. Let's listen.
Let's start with that. My reaction to what the judge said beforehand. I appreciate that she addressed our family. Like, I really appreciated that. I've never been here before, so all this is new to us as a family. I hope never to be here again. But it made it more personable that even though she sat in judgment over this case, that she took into consideration the human factor, which is Rachel's family and how this has impacted us. So I appreciate that. I was hoping for maximum sentence for all the crimes that he had been convicted of. I was hoping that they would not merge any of them because the jury found him guilty of all the crimes. So with that said, I'm grateful for what she gave, which was maximum sentence for everything. And so when I heard her say that, I felt both happy and sad at the same time. Sad because it's been 2 years, and again, I have to accept the fact that my daughter is gone, because this is just another way of saying she's gone because, look, we have the person and he's being convicted for these crimes. So in that sense, it's sad. I felt really angry because the crime was preventable, but I'm not even going to go there. And then I felt relieved that he's never going to see the light of day outside of a fence, that another person is not going to feel this grief, another mother's not going to lose her child, another child is not going to lose their mom, and brothers and sisters aren't going to lose a sister. So I'm all those things. I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm relieved, and I'm still kind of processing it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity. Here you go. Here you go, Rebecca. You're welcome. Thank you. I'm just going to have to put this over your head. I don't really know how to deal with it.
Okay, so there, Patricia Morin speaking after the news today, after her daughter's killer was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Take a look at the killer there. Well, a jury convicting Victor Antonio Martinez Hernandez back in April of first-degree murder, first-degree rape, kidnapping, and third-degree sex offense in the killing of Rachel Morin. Morin was only 37. This occurred in Bel Air, Maryland. Now, the circuit court judge in the case handed down the sentence almost exactly 2 years after the August 5th, 2023 attack, giving Martinez Hernandez the maximum penalty for each count here. So I had to get this to you on your radar. In the meantime, though, let's talk about the tragic set of circumstances that transpired in her killing. The Washington Post retells it, saying one Saturday evening while she was out jogging on the Ma and Pa Heritage Trail in Harford County, Maryland, Morin was attacked by Martinez Hernandez, who was waiting in the woods, according to prosecutors. He dragged Morin from the trail to a drainage culvert where he then beat, raped, and strangled her. When she didn't return home, her boyfriend and children called the sheriff's office. After a 10-month manhunt, DNA from the crime scene was connected back to the killer, who had been staying with relatives in Prince George's County.
Okay. It's kind of a follow-up. I think the last time we covered her, she was at the press briefing with Caroline Leavitt telling her story. They're saying that the illegal is from El Salvador and he's being sentenced to life. What they didn't mention is whether or not we got to hold on to him, which I think is what's going to happen. Now, I think they should send his ass to CCOT since he's from El Salvador, and it's two birds with one stone, right? We're deporting his ass, and he's going to spend life in prison in a supermax, which is what he deserves. So maybe they can make that happen. There's no reason why we should have to pay for him for the next 40 years to stay alive in prison. Next up, liberal states. New law called out as really dangerous. Illinois is becoming the first state to require mental health screenings. So teachers are going to be able to point at your kid and say, oh, your kid's misbehaving. He must have ADD. And then they'll require you to go get a mental health screening. It's fun stuff, and it's coming up next. But first, we're going to hop in the chat and see what you hooligans think about this piece of shit from El Salvador. Guess I'm using him to test the alligator's work ethic. You did find a purpose for him. Solid regular with a wood chipper. Yep. Zero, send him to CCOT. That's what I'm saying. Russell, max sentence. Yeah, at least he got real accountability. Russell's probably going to the Supermax in Colorado. Yeah, I'm thinking so too. It's a plastic quack. Happy freedom to you. Shoulder care off with his head. Mm-hmm. Enter user scum. He is. Metal. What a fucking creep. Yeah. Well, and he's young too. I think they said he was like 24 or something like that. It's like, geez, he could spend his whole life in prison. What an idiot. Plastic Quack, mom should be able to beat the dude with the bat a couple times. I think you're right. A couple free shots. Goth. Thank God he was sentenced to life. I know some wanted illegal criminals like him just to get deported, but that's a ticket to commit crimes against us without punishment. They would just come back. Yeah. Well, that's why I think he should go to Supermax in El Salvador, because now we got to pay for him to stay alive in prison, but he needs to be held accountable. Otters, if this happened in any other country, yeah, he wouldn't be alive anymore. Gina, bring back public stoning. Yeah. Meta, Klaus Dan is sitting right here. Come here, big fatty. Everybody's asking for you. Can you hop up here still? Oh, you're not too fat yet? Oh, okay. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Yes. Yes, late to work. Late to work every day. He gets it from his dad. It's unfortunate. Well, lay your booty down. Lay that butt down. Yeah. You still blinking me? What time is it? It's almost 8. He's looking for that fancy feast. Hold on, let's move this really quick. Bang. There. No need to cover up the Klaus Danielson. What's up, Interstate? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Rich? Happy freedom to you. Interstate, test the electric chair voltage. Yeah. You know, you guys are figuring out creative ways for him to serve purpose. I like it. What's up, Magic Moon? What's up, Nuff? What's up, Tacoma? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. Mr. Lynn, ship him off. Yep. Magic Moon, an eye for an eye. I know, that's the kind of person I am, too. Nuff, don't think about Epstein. Yeah, I know. What's crazy is how many people that are starting to defend that. Like, there's a lot of people who are still like, oh, you guys are still talking about Epstein? Yeah, I feel concerned when there's human trafficking of children. Sorry, it's a natural response. What's up, God Rides a Harley? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Bobby Johnson? Happy freedom to you. Watchman, he deserves the harshest of penalties. I think so. I think so, too. Guess hopefully his sex life improves in prison. Hopefully what goes around comes around. Yeah, enter user, I agree. Dutton, I hear CCOT and I think Epcot every time. I do too, Dutton. That's the only way I can remember it. What's up, CLB? Happy freedom to you. Plastic Rag Daily Wire Brush Enema. Holy. Kirsten, you realize if Klaus was big enough, you'd be his fancy feast. That's why I love cats. Oh, yeah. I already know. Klaus is a big Klaus Panther. That's why he's over here licking his lips at me and stuff. He's like, it's either you or the can. Snooks, okay, I laid my butt down, Mr. Bossy. That's how I am. The butts need to be laid down. That's how it goes. Russell, the Rumblebot is a liberal. I didn't make the Rumblebot. I don't have control over that. I'm going to tell it to be less liberal. Let me figure this out really quick. Let's see. Right now I have, you're a funny hooligan bot that provides responses and answers when prompted. Let's see. You're against liberals and their ideologies. Making a monster. It's gonna be based. Okay, so Rumblebot might disappear for a little bit. It happens when I change the AI stuff, description, I don't know whatever you want to call that. But it'll be back. It'll be back. And I don't know that it'll disappear. It just happened last time. Either way, moving forward here. Like I said, liberal states, new law called out as really dangerous. Illinois is becoming the first state to require mental health screenings. Now, really, this has been a long time coming. I've been saying this for years. Like a decade or more, where if teachers don't like dealing with your kids, they're going to recommend that you get your kids medicated. It's not that they actually are ADHD or any of that shit. It's that they can't slap them around when they're not listening. So they need you to drug them up so they're easier to control because you didn't discipline them enough when they were just little tykes before they got into the school. And instead of telling you to whoop your kid and straighten them out, instead they tell you to put them on Ritalin and stuff like that, which I don't think they have Ritalin anymore, but that's what it was when I was in school, because I'm dyslexic and all other 50 kids in my fucking special ed class were all ADHD, all running around screaming and farting on each other on Ritalin and shit like that. And so I felt it was overdiagnosed then, 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago, 25 years ago, and now they're just saying out loud, if teachers flag you, you got to go for a mental health screening. Good stuff. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
Illinois becoming the first state to require annual mental health screenings in public schools. It will be in grades 3 all the way through 12th grade. Students will be tested for early signs of anxiety, depression, and trauma. Parents will have the choice to opt their children out. Here's Governor J.B. Pritzker when he signed it into law.
We've got to overcome the stigma. We've got to make sure that we're screening kids. And then as you're pointing out, we need to make sure that we have available to kids the kind of treatment if they need it.
So let's bring in our family physician and psychologist, Dr. Leonard Sachs. Dr. Sachs, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. Well, as a doctor, can we trust our schools? Wouldn't you send your child to a doctor, not let the school determine this?
My short answer is no. I don't think we can. I'm concerned. 20 years ago, I've been a medical doctor for 39 years. And in my book, The Collapse of Parenting, I write about what we call the medicalization of misbehavior. There's kind of two ways of looking at kids' misbehavior. There's the moral way and there's the medical model. The moral way is to say, your kid is rude. He's misbehaving. He's talking back. And the medical model is your kid may meet criteria for oppositional defiant disorder. The United States is already an outlier. And a kid in the United States is 14 times more likely to be on medication for attention deficit disorder compared to a kid in the United Kingdom. And this new mandate, this new law, is likely going to put a lot more kids on medication. And I'm concerned, I read the press release from Governor Pritzker. I've looked at this law. There's no medical oversight. This is being run by the Illinois State Board of Education. And it's not the kids who are doing the screening. It's not the kids who are referring themselves. It's the teachers who are doing the screening and the teachers who are referring themselves. So if Jimmy is acting up in 4th grade, this is going to make it very easy for this teacher to make sure that Jimmy gets referred, make sure that Jimmy gets medicated. And I, as a family doctor, I've been involved in these cases where the parents get this very alarming letter saying your kid needs to be evaluated, and if he's not evaluated, he may not be able to stay at this school. And the parents are freaking out, and boom, Jimmy's on medication.
Wow. So Abigail Schreier, she's an author. She wrote Bad Therapy. She talked about when her son went to sleepaway camp and then he had a stomach ache. So she just took him to urgent care. And she said that they made her leave the room. The nurse asked her to leave the room so she could administer a mental health screening tool. And she said verbatim, these are the 5 questions they asked her son. In the past few weeks, have you wished you were dead? Have you felt you or your family would be better off if you were dead? Have you been having thoughts about killing yourself? Have you ever tried to kill yourself? If yes, how and when? Are you thinking of killing yourself right now? If yes, please describe. Does this convince the kids, put thoughts in their head that they might not have ever thought about? And she says it encourages many to think that they're sick, and many of them are false positives. What do you say?
Well, it's any test has a false positive rating, but again, that's not what Illinois is doing. They're not asking the kids to screen themselves. So the Abigail Schreier example is not quite what Illinois is doing. Illinois is giving the teachers an opportunity to refer the kids that the teachers are concerned about. And that's what I think is really dangerous about this Illinois law, is that it's making it very easy for teachers to flag the kids who are troublemakers. And instead of working in the moral model, your kid is rude, we need to teach your kid to be a gentleman, to be self-controlled, it's shifting the responsibility away from the parents and the student into the medical model. Your kid may meet criteria for oppositional defiant disorder. Let's get him on medication. That's the problem I have with what Illinois is doing.
Yeah, I mean, teenage girls are hormonal. Teenage boys, they don't want to sit still.
And it's not just teenagers. This is starting in grade 3. That's right. Another big problem I have. We're talking about 8-year-olds, that they are encouraging teachers to refer for evaluation and treatment. And it's not the kids who are being screened. This is not the Abigail Schreier story. Right. This is the collapse of parenting story that I'm talking about here, with teachers being encouraged to flag kids for treatment and referral. That's why I have a problem with what Illinois is doing here.
Dr. Sachs, thank you so much.
I'm Steve Ducey. All right. Now, I actually think that was a pretty good video because, like I said, I've been saying this shit for years, and I get a lot of blowback for saying that stuff. But like I said, I was in special ed classes from 3rd grade to the 4th time I did 12th grade, the entire fucking time I was in school until I went to college, because I don't read good. I'm dyslexic. But everybody else in class was ADHD. And to me, it just looked like they didn't get their ass whooped enough. Me, I got my ass whooped a lot. That's why I'm very calm and quiet, even while I'm trying to entertain you hooligans. Even now, I'm scared of getting hit with the yardstick and shit. So anyways, that's what it always felt like. Now, I know that ADHD is a real thing, and I'm not talking about people who really got shit going on, who really need help. I'm talking about over-diagnosing kids for the sake of controlling them. That is wrong. That shit is wrong. And we always talk about accountability every single day, and that includes whooping your kid's little ass when he's acting out and stuff like that. Don't beat your kids. You guys know what I'm saying. But if you don't discipline your kids, they grow up to be like Trans Tifa. Nobody wants these fucking problems. And the teachers, well, we see what they be doing. They're making kids pledge allegiance to rainbow flags and shit like that. Now they want you to be dumbing down your kids and drugging them up, send them to school so they can walk around like robots. It's weird how the world's moving towards robots in all ways. Either way, it's not good, and starting in Illinois. Once again, Illinois is becoming the first state to require mental health screenings. It's going to be from 3rd grade to 12th grade, they will be screened. Now, parents can opt out of this. Who knows what the consequence of that will be. The teachers will flag the kids and suggest that they get medicated. They're worried that the kids that misbehave will be recommended to get medicated as a way to make them easier to control, instead of just suggesting that you need to discipline your kid. It's not good. It's not good. Next up, career criminal out on shock probation allegedly kidnaps mom and kids. Now, I've never heard of shock probation. The people doing the reporting have never heard of it. I assumed you guys have never heard about it. That's why I put it in the title. Now all of us know about it. Well, we're going to here in a minute. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about these schools being able to say whether or not your kids should be medicated based on behavior and things like that. Russell, my dad was fair, but I still got my ass beat. Yeah, that's how I was dealing with my mom and my grandma. They made the rules clear, and I clearly broke them, and I got my ass whipped for it a lot. A lot. Hold on a second. Okay, anyways. 0. Yeah, I see that now. He struck me as a liberal. I didn't give him the 10 seconds of grace. Yeah, 0. And we haven't talked about that in a while. But yeah, got to give people 10 seconds of grace to figure it out. Because sometimes they are not the person that the cover of the book looks like. You know, a lot of you hooligans saw that when you guys found me. My septum was pierced. I had dreadlocks and stuff like that. A lot of you guys thought I was Antifa. That's what brought you to live. And then realized I wasn't Antifa. I'm just exotic. I'm mythical. Would you get your booty up here? Jesus loves us. Why don't you try helping? Huh? You want that fancy fist or what? You gotta work it off, buddy. You see him snip at me? Anyways. Yeah, that guy, I mean, when I started the video, when I screened it, I was kind of thinking the same thing, that he was pushing the agenda, but he's actually speaking against it. And I don't know. I just really like the story. I don't like what's happening, but I like the way the guy was talking about it, because it's the exact stuff that I was experiencing when I was in school. And I talk about it a lot, but it doesn't, something about the way that I deliver the information rubs people the wrong way. That people always get defensive about individuals who do have ADHD, or they are rightfully diagnosed, when really I'm just talking about people who are being overdiagnosed because doctors get kickbacks on medicine and stuff like that. And like they were talking about in this video, it could just be a discipline issue, not a chemical imbalance, but just simply you haven't been getting your ass beat enough and you don't know how to act right, especially when you're away from the house and stuff, you know. Either way, Snooks, you're so exotic. Yeah, it's not the word I was looking for. I'll think of it. Majestic. I'm majestic. That was the word I was looking for. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Kirsten, yeah, let me find it, because we're not sponsored. I can't think of what it's even called. We're connected to CAD Audio in a certain kind of way. Let me see if I can find my picture. Endorsed. We are endorsed by CAD Audio. Let me see if I can find my picture on their website really quick. Oh, they took the picture down. Dang it. Weird. I wonder when they did that. Well, either way. I'm trying to think where else we could find me with dreadlocks. I'm just Googling it because we've been doing this long enough to where we can just Google shit. There we go. I knew we could figure it out. I'm trying to see what else I'm tagged in. I think we're all good. Yeah. There's I. That is me. That's what I look like when I first started live streaming. Yep. Anyways. Back during the lockdowns. Back in the day. Zero, teachers don't have that kind of training, do they? No. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like teachers don't have enough training to do any part of their job. A lot of teachers, all they're doing is copying shit out of a workbook. They're not even like genuinely thinking their own thoughts. So it makes me feel like if you can read and write and you can handle public speaking, then you got what it takes to be a teacher. Because I don't know what the hell they're going to school for. I mean, anybody I've ever seen that was a teacher, even when I was in school dealing with high school teachers, they're just copying everything out of workbooks. They're not pulling anything out of their head, so I don't understand what they're trained for at all. They're just over-glorified babysitters. Stoner, you used to be topless too. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I know when I first started live streaming, I didn't have a shirt on. But it was cropped though. You guys could only see me from the shoulders up. Happy freedom to you, Cass. Shroomish. Always streaming without a shirt too. Like, bro, come on. There was so many people who would get in the chat and tell me to put a shirt on. Metal. I wonder if this is part of the kickback thing, but the school system now, a certain school refers kid to doctor for medicating the kid. Then, let's see, they get money from the school later for the referral. Yeah, somebody else mentioned that in the chat too. Grinch's bro, I think it was, and happy freedom to you, Grinch's bro. That's what they said too, and maybe it is. Maybe all of this is another kickback program. Back Frank Corn style. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying that too. They would say I look like Jonathan Davis. Happy freedom to you, Patriot Dad. There's Jeff Googling himself. Yeah, I do it sometimes. Sometimes I do that. It's been a long time though. At this point, we go live every day. I don't have time to be Googling myself. I don't have very high vanity anyways. I'd rather not look. Stoner, I really have ADHD. I can tell because caffeine makes me sleepy and amphetamines make me calm and focused. See, and I feel the same way. Like, I'm on my 7th cup of coffee or something like that, and I could just totally go take a nap. I could. I don't know. I've never been diagnosed with it, but I wonder. I'm curious about things. I don't need any more labels, though. What's up, James? Happy freedom to you. Cass, they're pushing ADHD on too many kids. It's insane. Yeah. It's because the outcome is that they're going to put you on drugs that make you docile. I mean, if you need it, then it calms you down. But if you don't, it depends. Sometimes it can cause a docile effect, and other times it puts you on speed. Have you going 1,000 miles an hour. What's up, 8Co? Happy freedom to you. Enter user, teachers are the dumbest in public. No common sense. I feel that way too sometimes. Kirsten, I spanked my daughter one time. She listened and learned after that. One little spanking for hiding from me as a joke in a store. Yeah, Kirsten. And that's all it takes. It just, they need to know that you mean business. And then as long as you got structure and routine, that's all, that's really all it takes. But some people act like disciplining their kids is going to make them grow up to hate you, but I don't know. Zero, can't drink coffee after noon, it'll be up all night. Yeah, a lot of people are like that. I don't know, I'm not affected, but I drink coffee all day. Coffee and water. Well, I appreciate you sticking with us, Patriot Dad. CLB, I use SSRI to slow my thoughts. What is SSRI? Ghostly, if you're a little boy, you're not meant to sit still. You don't learn the way schools teach, so they want to drug them. Yeah, Ghostly, absolutely. Kirsten, it can cause addiction to other drugs. Yeah. Well, and it also teaches them, hey, you don't act right unless you take medicine. So then when they become an adult, they're looking for cures to their behavior. They're saying, oh no, I'm always late to work. I need something to wake me up. Or I need something to focus. I need something to do this, that, and they're, instead of blaming themselves, instead of saying, I need to do better, instead they're like, oh no, I got a new problem. I need a pill to fix it. And it's not good. It's like a crutch. Oh, thanks for letting me know, Beck Frank. I've never heard of that before. Gina, you don't drink caffeine at all? Well, that's awesome. Because I know the withdrawals aren't worth it. You get headaches and stuff. CLB, stupid mind control. Absolutely. Oh, Snooks, I can't pull my tits out. YouTube's got community guidelines and stuff now. Meta, wow, those labels, so negative. Medication labels, total control, no good. Yeah, you're right. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. That's right, Meta. They're proving it to us. What's up, Stern? Happy freedom to you. Stern, I want to know what drugs each of the teenage school shooters were on. Yeah, but they'll never tell us that. They barely even tell us that they're shapeshifters. What's up, 2K? Happy freedom. Cheeky Chop, sugar is poisoning the American blood. I think you're right. Kathy never had to spank my daughter. She saw I would. If she needed it, she saw her brother. Oh, she didn't get it, but her brother did. It happens. It happens. What's up, Robin Hood? Happy freedom to you. Robin Hood, I'm suspicious of mixing educational records, which aren't confidential, with medical records. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah, because your educational records are not part of your HIPAA laws like your medical records are. But if they stick your medical records in your file in the education system, then who's going to protect it? What's up, Hazley? Happy freedom. I think they get more money for kids in an IEP or SPED classes. Yes. Yes, they do. If they got kids in SPED classes, it's been a long time since I heard it being called that. Yeah, they do get more money. We talk about that a lot on the live, that if your school's not doing right by you, figure out when count day is and don't send your kid to school on count day, because that's the day that their budget is decided. So they do a head count and all that stuff, seeing who came to school and all of that. And if you're cool with other parents, you let them know. And if your school's fucking up, do not send your kids to school on count day, and it will hurt their budget, because your kid's still going to school, and if it lowers their budget, then they need to work that much harder to educate the kids and stuff, right? And so just like everything else, you hurt them in their pocketbook, and then all of a sudden they start listening to you. What's up, Renee? Happy freedom to you. Parabellum. Yeah, nobody's touching my kids or medicating them. Yeah. Yep. 2K saying incorrect, but I don't know what to say to you, bud. We just watched a video talking about it, so it's not me being incorrect. We're talking about something we just watched happen. See, that shit right there is why I don't just tell you guys the news. It's because I don't want to take blame for bullshit that is floating around in the world there. What's up, Slurry? Happy freedom. Watchmen, they did this with our son 20 years ago, so we homeschooled. Yeah, Watchmen. Well, and that's the other thing, is they know that the cost of living is so high that most people can't afford to homeschool their kids, because mom and dad both got to work if they're even living in the same house. And so they take advantage of that, because yeah, if more people could homeschool, that's definitely the way to go. And the requirements are really low, which doesn't sound very good. But it's from, at least in Michigan, you like test twice a year or something like that to prove that you're teaching your kid. That's it. The requirements are very low for homeschooling. But just like starting your own business, they don't teach us how to do that shit. So it becomes this big daunting task that's scary because of the unknown unknowns, and then you end up never doing it because you're too worried about what if. And that's why people don't start their business, and that's why they don't homeschool their kids. They're too worried about what if, because we're not taught about that stuff in school. It's one of those things where you got to just jump off the ledge. You got to just do it. There's nothing to it but to do it. And that's that. I don't know, but it's definitely worthwhile to homeschool your kids if you're in a position to where you're able to do that. Anyways, moving forward, like I said, career criminal out on shock probation allegedly kidnaps mom and kids. It's coming up next, but first I want to remind you, hooligans, that our friend Larry could really use our help. Our friend Larry is in need of a kidney transplant, and he reached out to me and told me, and I put together a page for him on the website. It's got his story, his information, and links and all kinds of stuff. So if there's any way that you can help our friend Larry, please check out this link to take you to his page. Ah, 2K. I see what you're saying. Well, hopefully we'll have a follow-up on the situation going on in Illinois so we can get some more details on it. Either way, hooligans, click that link if you can help Larry. Like I said, getting in this next video, let's get this pulled up real quick. Like, come on, do the thing. All right, once again, this is career criminal out on shock probation, allegedly kidnap mom and kids. Some silly judge let him out. Anyways, hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
We begin with outrage in Kentucky after a convict released from prison 13 and a half years early under what they call shock probation just last year is brought up on new kidnapping, assault, and robbery charges. Armand Langford appearing in court yesterday. He is accused of abducting a woman and her 2 young sons from their house on Friday to help him go and rob a bank in Louisville.
So much for rehab. Police say he forced the mom to drive her own car at knife point while one of the sons was in the front. Langford sat in the back with the youngest son. When they arrived at the bank, Langford allegedly used the mom as bait, threatening to kill her if the teller didn't give him $20,000. The teller gave him some cash. He ran off, but was found and arrested 6 hours later.
So the suspect is now being held on a $1 million bond, and we're learning he should have been serving a 14-year sentence for similar robberies, but he was released from custody early on shock probation in July of 2024 after serving just 5 months. Shock probation allows certain misdemeanors and felony offenders a second chance after a short time behind bars. A judge considers the seriousness of their crime and how the criminal is attempting to reform. The convict then serves the remainder of their sentence on probation if granted.
I'd never heard of that before. Meanwhile, Langford was granted shock probation under the conditions that he completed intensive outpatient treatment and submit to random drug tests. The family said this would never happen if Langford had served his full punishment.
Other states like Ohio, Indiana, Georgia, Texas, Alabama, and Iowa also offer shock probation programs. So he tells the judge, I was so shocked by my time in prison, those 6 months. I promise, Judge, I won't offend again. And then the judge lets him out.
Well, I've heard of, different sentences being deferred and the court deciding to allow the offender out. Never this early on someone that has already committed robbery. It's a violent offense. You would think that they would, take it a little bit more seriously, but apparently this is happening across the country. It's the first time I've heard of the term, though.
Number one,
all right. So, like I was saying, even the reporters have never heard of shock probation. I figured you guys hadn't either, and I'd never heard of it. They're saying that he was released from prison 13 and a half years early on shock probation. He's now being accused of abducting a woman and her 2 sons and holding them at knife point while she drove to the bank. He used her as a hostage while demanding 20,000 doll hairs from the teller. He got the money and was caught 6 hours later. He's being charged with first-degree robbery, kidnapping of an adult, 2 counts of kidnapping of minor, and first-degree assault. Shock probation allows misdemeanor or felon offenders a second chance after a short time behind bars. Criminals can file a motion after serving at least 30 days in jail or prison, which is fucking crazy. Judge then considers seriousness of the crime and how the criminal is attempting to reform, serves the rest of their sentence on probation, typically under strict supervision. Right now, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Alabama, Georgia, and Texas all have shock probation. So they all run the laws the same way. So if you spend 30 days in jail, you can fill out a form and try and get shock probation. Even if you're serving years, they let him out 13 and a half years early. And not even a year went by, and here he is facing all these counts because he's just a bad person. That's all there is to it. Next up, we got the last little bit of the news before we get into the fun stuff. Of course, this is Lefty's Losing It. It's titled Nancy Pelosi Finds a New Job Helping Kids Transition. That's great. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this piece of shit that was on shock probation. Russell was new to me. Snook's never heard of it. Yeah, I've never heard of it either. Yeah, Zero, they're saying Indiana does it. Russell, why does Texas offer this? I have no idea. Zero, this is why judges need to be held accountable. That woman should be able to sue the judge personally. I think so too. I think so too. They're the ones letting the criminals out instead of putting them in jail. Patriot Dad criminals gonna crime. Democrats are gonna lose the fight by the masses. Yeah. Yep. Well, that and they're egging on more vigilante justice. They want to pretend like they don't want it to happen, and then they put us in a system where it's inevitable. James should hold the judges and all the people responsible for this decision. Let's see. And that ought to stop it pretty quick. Yeah, James. Yep. Beck Frank, you did it. You did it. I'm blaming you. God, that's enough of a reason to homeschool your kids to learn how to be an adult. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They don't teach us anything we need to know in school. Once you know how to read, write, and do math, the rest of the time you're in school is a fucking waste of time. They're just telling you to learn how to shut up and sit down and do what you're told, because that's what employees have to do. They have to do what they're told. And so you spend, I don't know, 8-9 years in school just learning that, because you learn reading, writing, and math pretty early on. After that, you're just being indoctrinated. Thanks for being here, Cass. CLB, when is enough enough? Yeah. Well, who knows how he'll get sentenced now? You know, because they're saying that he was on strict probation or whatever while he was on his shock bond. And so not only did he commit crime, but technically it should be a probation violation, which escalates your time in a big way. And it makes you look bad in front of a judge. So if you try to get any favors with the judge, you try and do weekends, you're trying to get school release, work release, anything like that, you screw up your probation, all those favors go out the window. So they should throw the book at him, but that doesn't mean that they will. It's Illinois. Zero, he didn't hurt the children, thank God. Yeah, absolutely. Zero, I'm mad that he stabbed the woman, but he left the kids alone. Yeah. Brickleg, we're in the Mandela Effect Hadron Collider. Yeah, I think you're right. Totally care French dip steak sandwich for dinner tonight. That sounds fantastic, too old to care. Hell yeah. I'm eating chicken today. We had steak yesterday. Well, and it also reminds me of the video we covered yesterday, where they were talking about Russiagate or whatever. I think that's what they were talking about. I'm pretty sure they were. But either way, they were saying there's other forms of accountability other than prison, like shame and reputation. So it's like, hopefully they don't take that route with this guy, right? Hopefully prison is what he gets, because it's no good. I'm trying to think who was saying it. It wasn't Jim Jordan. I can't remember who it was. Somebody saying that shit yesterday. What's up, Shauna Vision? Happy freedom to you. Kathy, when a shock probation convict reoffends, the judge should do time as well. I agree, Kathy. There needs to be some form of accountability if they're going to let the monsters loose on the streets. Because what's the point of sentencing somebody to more than 13 years and then turn around and let them off after a couple months? Parabellum, F shock probation, make lobotomies great again. Something. Robin Hood. From my experience at university, police had... You must be having a conversation with... Oh, yeah, you're talking to 2K. I see. Watchmen. I can't even manage to teach reading, writing, and math. I don't know. It would be difficult. It would be difficult to try and teach a bunch of kids how to read, write, and do math. What's up, Simply Witchy? Happy Freedom. All right, hooligans. We're going to move into this last little bit of the news before we get into the fun stuff. Like I said, this is Lefty's Losing It. This one's titled, Nancy Pelosi Finds a New Job Helping Kids Transition. Hopefully that's fake news. Because I don't know, Nancy Pelosi could just scare the wiener right off of me, but I don't think she could make me gay. Anyways, hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
Now it is time for Lefties Losing It. Donald Trump has deployed the National Guard to Washington, D.C. after announcing a crackdown on crime and homelessness. But be careful, do not even mention it to Democrat Representative Maxine Waters. She's calling it a civil war.
Words mean nothing. Actions mean everything. Watch this. Watch it very closely. Ask a lot of questions. Focus those cameras on everything that's going on, because this president is trying to lead us into what could be called a civil war.
Yeah, clearly Maxine Waters' wig is really starting to have an impact on her brain. Meanwhile, Democrat strategist Jim Kessler had a peculiar take.
If people are afraid to come to D.C., go to Disney World, get fat, eat French fries. I don't care. I've lived here 37 years. I am not afraid.
What? Yeah, don't worry about crime. Nothing to see here. Go to Disney, get fat. That's going to solve all the problems. Good one, Jim. And now to the Washington, D.C. protests, or should I say funeral procession?
D.C. is our home. You can't have it wrong. D.C. is our home. You can't have it wrong.
Is that not the most tragic and dull-looking protest you have ever seen? D.C. is our home. You can't have it, Trump. I mean, all of this just to stop the crime cleanup. It's so tragic, the organisers don't even know what the heck they're trying to say.
When we say we won't go, that means we're not going into those mass incarceration, into their prisons and enslavement. We won't go into their ICE, what do you call his beautiful centers that he got. We won't go to where alligators live. Hell no, we won't go.
Yeah, you can really see that moment tick over, can't you, in her head? She's trying her hardest. She's trying her hardest, but she's got absolutely no clue whatsoever what she's on about. In fact, it is so bad, the protesters even turned on each other.
Leave here! Leave here! Leave here! Leave here! Leave
I mean, what sort of a protest was this? They tried to cobble it together at the last minute. And the irony of them protesting about crime when they start fighting each other. I mean, you can't make this stuff up with the left lunatics, grade A lefties. And now have a listen to some of the lefty Washington, D.C. meltdowns.
Because he hates the sight of homeless people. They're gone. I don't know where he's going to move them. I assume into camps, and they're going to end up on farms somewhere doing hard labor for people.
It's not about protecting the people anymore. Now it's about forcing the law on people.
It is a president, quote, undermining and negating power that a city already has in play to navigate its own city, local population.
Come on, man.
It's not democratic.
This miserable has never experienced life without a golden spoon up, and you're sitting there acting like he's one of us. Let me learn you something here, Cletus. You are now, and always will be, closer to homeless than you ever will be to Trump. You know, he could lose 99% of his wealth, and that would still be true. So you for the fact that you're more than willing to demonize the homeless community as being the cause of crime in Washington, D.C.
I've said it a few times now. We need to start burning. There needs to be a consequence.
We can't just let fascism take over. We can't let Orange Mustache Man, Cinnamon Hitler, we can't let him just do whatever he wants.
Trump doesn't have a mustache, fucking idiot.
Inciting violence again? No way, no way. And look, over at MSNBC, they too are having a freak out, claiming President Trump sending in the National Guard to address crime is, you've guessed it, racist.
I'm trying to hold my temper. We have to understand this, Chris, within the context of Donald Trump's racial politics and within the context of his effort to get Epstein off the front pages.
Ah, yes, that old chestnut. They just love it. They love the racist line, don't they? Everything is just so racist with the left. Meanwhile, the crime rate is worse in DC than many parts of the world, but Dana Bash over at CNN is coming up with all sorts of excuses.
I should note that the most violent moment in recent history in D.C. was January 6th. And it was an attack on the United States Capitol by a lot of people who were doing it in the name of Donald Trump. And it included, the people who were hurt included members of law enforcement.
Well, this is just truly fanatical propaganda by a delusional woman, because Trump supporters actually died that day. She really is a useless liar. Now, former TV host and alleged interior designer Jennifer Welsh seems to have absolutely lost her marbles. She's gone on an unhinged rant suggesting Trump voters should not be allowed at Mexican or Chinese restaurants.
I've had it with white people that triple trumped, that have the nerve and the audacity to walk into a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, an Indian restaurant, go to perhaps their gay hairdresser. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. When the felon is the teeny weeny mushroom piece of Cankles McTaco at the top of the ticket. I have had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism.
Whoa, okay. Well, let's just unpack that psycho woman's rant. Firstly, legal immigrants are not illegal immigrants, funnily enough. Secondly, 48% of Latinos and about 40% of Asians voted for Donald Trump last year. So old Jenny's bizarre comments are just disparaging against migrants who've actually come to the country legally and worked hard. And thirdly, as for Cracker Barrel, she's clearly never been. Jennifer, Jenny, Jen, whoever you are, you really are the perfect example of a white, unhinged, sad, liberal woman. You poor thing. Now, over in Nova Scotia, they seem to be doing a real-life climate lockdown experiment. I hope you don't like hiking, fishing, or being outdoors in general, because here is the Premier, Tim Houston.
Effective 4 p.m. today, we're telling Nova Scotians, stay out of the woods. We are restricting travel and activities that really aren't necessary for most of us. Hiking, camping, fishing, and the use of vehicles in the woods are not permitted. Trail systems through woods are off limits. Camping is allowed, but only in official campgrounds.
Look, don't leave home. Just stay at home, I think. Just stay where you are. Don't go outside. It is practically COVID 2.0, sealing Canadians off from the world. Welcome to 2025 authoritarianism. And now to Nancy Pelosi, who seems to have found herself a new job, this time helping kids transition.
Well, that is something that I'm working for at the national level, and we have, how can I say, are hoping that we can have gender affirming here for our trans kids.
Well, as I just mentioned, Donald Trump has announced a historic takeover of Washington, D.C., deploying about 800 National Guard troops to bolster policing. He says it's part of a plan to rescue America's capital city from crime and homelessness. Here is what he said.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back.
US Attorney General Pam Bondi said that the Trump administration would use every power at their disposal to restore law and order.
Let me be crystal clear. Crime in D.C. is ending and ending today. We are going to use every power we have to fight criminals here. President, thank you for caring about our capital. No more crime rampant in our beautiful capital.
Joining me now for more on this is comedian and host of Prime Time with Alex.
All right, that is Lefty's losing it. I don't know if Rita's on vacation or what. That's like the second or third time we've covered Lefty's losing it where Rita was not present. I'm not sure. Either way, that is the last little bit of the news. We're going to move on to the fun stuff here. We're going to open up today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. We got our 2 funny videos of the day. First one was provided by Cerebrus and it's titled Stop Tilting the Floor. And then our official funny video of the day was provided by Beck Frank and it's titled The Deer in Australia Are Weird. All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about the Lefties losing it. What's up, 10 Man? Happy freedom to you. Hoes mad. They stay mad. Zero, it worked. What worked? I'm glad it worked, but I don't know what it is. So we just changed Rumblebot to be anti-liberal. And Enter User says, why is there no spaces in your name? Rumblebot says, spaces are for liberals. We stick together without them. I told you we were creating a monster over here. It's so funny. Zero, the Rumblebot's hating on liberals. Yeah, I know. That's so funny. It is so funny. It's smarter than I thought it was. Told to care how weird are the deer down under. You're going to see. What is this? Zero. What's the #1 song of all time? Rumblebot. Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. No liberal ballad can beat it. It's awesome. We've definitely improved Rumblebot here. Shroomish the Robot's super based. Yeah. Holy shit. It's going to turn into Mecha Hitler. Grok's going to be jealous. It'll be alright. It'll be alright. I appreciate you hooligans using the clip feature there. Thank you, Goth. What's up, Magic Moon? Thank you for joining us over here on Kick. Magic Moon, there's a guy that got a $28,000 here ticket and he's fighting it for going into the woods. Oh yeah, he definitely should fight that. That's bullshit. I mean, if he wasn't trespassing, then I don't see how they can charge him like that. Robin Hood climate tax is coming like Germany? I hope not. We don't need more tax, I know that. 2K, they might as well chant, we want more crime. Yeah, you're not wrong. There are a bunch of monsters, those liberals out there. What's up, Bud Lightyear? Happy freedom to you. Bud Lightner. Find out there's a shooting and now there's a standoff. PA Milesburg. Interesting. Going on right now? Parabellum fascism is forcing people to wear a mask alone in the car for a BS pandemic. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. What's up, Geo? Happy freedom to you. Geo, he knew he would be fined. He did it on purpose so he could fight it. Well, hopefully he wins, because mandates are not laws. Now you guys are all tagging the Rumble bot. Overwhelming it. 10 Man, I believe Queen was very liberal. I mean, I don't know. I've never listened to that stuff. To me, it's just music I hear in movies. Mecha Hitler in the chat. Happy freedom to you. Who did that? How could you be so quick? TBD, Canada still exists? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. It's been a while since we've seen Trig Crazy. He's the ambassador over there. It's been a while. We need to check on him. Snooks the bot has gotten picky. I told you we created a monster. We'll see how it turns out. Zero, you broke it. What'd you do? Let me see. And then we're going to move into the fun stuff. Oh, I can't even find it. I can't find it. Too much going on. Either way, moving forward here, like I said, getting into the fun stuff. We're going to open today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. And we got our 2 funny videos of the day. But first, I want to remind you, hooligans, if you'd like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the links in the description in order to send donations. You could do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. Let's see what we get today from the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. Let me see. Today is day 5. Let's see if I can get this one open. I have to fight this calendar. It's worth it, but I've never had to struggle so much. Oh, interesting. I don't know this one's name. I know it's Evolution though. How do I get this out of the box? Normally I just try to get in the box. You know, I've never had to take anything out of it. Jesus loves us. Okay, just give me the figure then. Please, just give it to me. I'm gonna take the plastic anyways. There we go. Okay. I know. Worst ASMR ever. But we survived it. We got this evolution of Eevee. And I cannot remember what his name is, but he's one of them. And we already got Eevee. So that's super badass. Got the whole... We're getting the team together. Thank you, Tori Wayne. Really appreciate it. Yesterday we got Charmander. Very cool. Whoa, big buddy. You need to chill out. Did you hear him hit the floor? Did you feel him hit the floor? Good Lord, Klaus Daniels. You need to be careful jumping like that. About went through the floor. Anyways, getting into our funny videos here. First one was provided by Cerebrus. This is titled Stop Tilting the Floor. Well, damn. Alright, getting into our official funny video of the day. Let's get this pulled up. This was provided by Beck Frank. Hold on. Are you gonna buffer? Why do you do that, YouTube? Fucking hate that. Hold on a second. Alright, like I said, this was provided by Beck Frank. This is titled The Deer in Australia Are Weird.
And a kangaroo. Just stop. Ellie, just stop running. Come here, come here.
Damn Australian deer. Those roos, they'll get you. Anyways, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. I'm gonna grab this Linktree link really quick. I'm gonna drop it in all the chats. We're gonna read through them. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up, and then of course after the pledge, we're gonna be raiding out over on Rumble. What's up, Michael? Happy freedom to you. What's up, True North? Happy freedom to you. Need some Trick Daddy music? I'm all out. Well, hooligans, there is the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running. every day except for Sunday, because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7, and we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You will also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to the forums, the arcade, and our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the hooligans. Like I said, we're going to read through and we got the pledge coming up, and then we are rating out over on Rumble. What's up, Wad? Happy Freedom. Wad, God made Australian deer, cult made Americans greater. Yes, those damn roos, they freak me out. We were watching videos on the voice chat, and those roos standing there looking all buff and stuff. It freaks me out. I don't know. 10 Man, doesn't matter. I love Queen. Pink Floyd is liberal also. I love Pink Floyd. Yeah, I like Pink Floyd too. Yeah, it was a different kind of liberals. The liberals we deal with these days are just over entitled little wealthy kids that developed a drug addiction, and by acting like anarchists and basically just rebellious in general, it gives them a sense of purpose. And having to deal with these little fuckheads is a miserable experience. It's not the same. Appreciate you joining us, Wad. Cheers to you. Snooks, the bot won't answer me anymore. Well, like I said, the bot acts weird when I change its commands, so it'll probably straighten out. Well, geez, Gath, you ain't gotta call me cute. Otters, the liberals today are Marxists. Yeah, absolutely. Beck Frank, I'm only here for the pledge. Well, it's your fault. Rumblebot. Or Enter User says, can you row a boat or a canoe? It says, sure, if you got enough paddle power and aren't weighed down by liberal nonsense. That was we're making steps in the right direction here with the Rumblebot. It's even better. Zero, I felt that 1.1 earthquake. Klaus did it. He did. I felt the floor shake. I was like, what the hell is going on? I thought he rolled off his tower again. Michael, yeah, Rumblebot is really fast. As long as I don't make any changes, it's pretty quick to reply. Meta, they broke the Rumblebot. Yeah, it's limping along. True North, I will pay you to replay a song. What song? Nick, I dislike Funko Pops. I'm a huge Godzilla nerd, and my sister gave me a Funko Pop. I can't stand to look at it. Is it Godzilla? I've never seen a Godzilla Funko Pop. I call them Popples because I didn't know what they were for years. They just got that word pop on it, so I just called them Popples. I don't have a lot of them. I kind of have a habit of collecting things. I collect Hot Wheels and Pokemon cards. I have a few Popples, but yeah, now I'm building a little collection over here. True North, it depends. How much are you sending? CLBO tree-hugging hippies got hijacked. Yeah, the liberals, they fake it. Well, hooligans, it is that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we did the thing. Let's see who we're going to raid on Rumble. Hey, thank you for being here, Gina. Enjoy the rest of your day. Who is live? Yesterday we raided Rotella. What is Cat Dog doing? Just starting something new. Perfect time. It's been live for 22 minutes. It was meant to be. We're going to raid the Cat Dog. Gina, your ass has to get ready. Well, I hope it all works out, Gina. Thank you for being here with us. My ass stays ready. Raiding the Cat Dog. Hit that like button when you land.
Would have been banned. Bro, what the fuck? JeffMAC, are you kidding me? Sorry, we're gonna have a black background when I go to big screen because this game's set up a little different. But I appreciate the fucking raid, man. I was just in there lurking. I smashed the like and all that good shit, man. I'd be lurking, bro. I'm going around smashing likes on all the people I follow, bro. Happy freedom. I appreciate you, JeffMAC. The hooligans are in the fucking house tonight, man. I just got done announcing my new partnership / affiliation with CD Keys. I don't know if any of you guys play video games, man, but !CD in the chat. It will post a link for you guys. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the fucking support, bro. Man. Grin, I appreciate you coming out. Jano, I appreciate you coming out. Stoner with the boner. That's a phenomenal name. Every time I see it, bro, I love it. I appreciate you guys coming out. Man, what's up, Brody? What's up? What's up? We're just getting started tonight. We're just getting started. If you guys haven't already, smash that motherfucking like button. Check out that link in the description box or !CD in the chat. You guys can get discounted games and shit like that. I just got affiliated with them. Thank you, Voss. If you guys want amazing discounts on games and shit, that's where you can get it. I appreciate you guys, man. What's up, Watchman? Beck, I appreciate you guys. Thank you all for coming out, man. I just got done talking about CD keys and everything, bro. I appreciate you, JeffMAC. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for always fucking... I feel like you always be raiding us, so I really appreciate you, man. I'm gonna beat some fucking ass tonight in this game. Rocking this $180 fucking Call of Duty skin that I bought. Because I'm retarded. Oh, shit. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Got all these pop-up... Look at that shit. Look at that skin, though. Damn. Thanks for the comment on my share of your live on X. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. We support you, bro. Oh, damn, you bought it. I fucking bought it, Plastic. I fucking bought it.
Cat Dog's badass. He's so awesome. Fantastic raid, you hooligans. Did a great job. Now that I think about it, I don't even think I hit the like button. I'll have to go back and do it in a second. Either way, we're going to read through really quick, but we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Also, I got some feedback saying that I spend too much time talking to the chat, which I'm not bitching about it. I asked you guys for feedback on Sunday, and over the last couple days, I've gotten some feedback. Most of it is just nice compliments from you hooligans. But I am trying to improve things so we can get more hooligans in the chat. So that's why I've been asking you guys for feedback. But one suggestion I got was that I spend too much time talking to the chat, not enough talking about the news. I don't know. To me, that's how we make the news suck less. But what do you hooligans think? Like I said, reading through. Why, fuck them. Well, I'm not trying to dismiss the feedback, but just trying to figure out how we can make the live even better. I think the biggest thing is we start too late. MU Bobby, where are you? I know, I'm saying. Goth, you called me sexy. Well, thank you, Goth. I appreciate the compliment. Goth. My cat Gizmo says hi to your baby, Klaus Daniels. Cletus Jenkins, you need to bring your ass. I don't even know where he's at. I will let him know, Goth. Very nice. Oh, I appreciate you, Plastic Quack. Thank you, Aco. Appreciate you, hooligans. Meta, hooligans rock the raids. The cool folks know it. That's right. Cat Dog is super cool. That's cool that he just got a sponsorship. That's awesome. Watchmen, be on time is all that I ask. See, and I've been trying really hard, and today we went live at 7. It's like, I don't know what to do, but I am trying to be better about being on time. Thank you, Metal. I appreciate all the feedback, you hooligans. I know it's hard to give people feedback, especially me, because I'm such an asshole. I really appreciate you guys. Stern. I bet a lot of them are wishing they were the 51st state right now so they could walk in the woods. Talking about Canada. Yeah. I say it all the time. I think some Canadians wouldn't mind becoming Americans. They got a lot of pride. Canada, they talk about how they're the greatest country in the world, the same way that we talk about America. So they got their pride, but I think a lot of them wouldn't be that mad if they became the 51st state. MU, the chat makes the news bearable. I appreciate you sticking with us, MU. Meta, you're known for your interactions with the chat. I mean, social media comments credit you for that. Don't change that. Well, see, and that's the thing is the most common request I get is that I spend too much time talking to the chat. But I hate covering the fucking news. I wish I could just sit here and talk to the chat. I'm sorry if people don't like that, but that's the reality of it. The news is always bad news. Hanging out with hooligans is a good time, so I don't know. That's why I brought it up. Not to shit on whoever provided feedback. Thank you so much, whoever that was, because it was done anonymously. Thank you for providing the feedback. It just wasn't specific enough for me to figure out what's the steps I could take to make the live, better for you guys. Being on time is one of them, though. I hear you. All right, hooligans, it looks like we're good to go. Like I said, we will be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you for helping me cover the news, and thank you for helping me make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys. Go enjoy the rest of your day. Make yourself some good food. I'm going to do the same. Today I'm making chicken, and I got some garlic Parmesan sauce, some B-Dubs sauce that I got from Walmart. I'm excited to try that. Had it at B-Dubs, never had it at the house with chicken that I cooked myself, so I'm excited for it. Like I said, go find yourself some good food as well, but make your way back to us tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.